Jade is such a force that she needs to be put like above everybody else, like to make a star in the AEW women's division. And they've got one right now, one in Britt Baker. Yeah. If they wanted to make another star, they need to squash the rest of these clowns and put Jade Cargill through that door.
Now
they need to put a rocket on her and go.
Yeah, so next up we had Red Velvet taking on Jade Cargill. Of course, they were in that match with Shaq and Cody Rhodes in early March at the Crossroads Dynamite. So here we have a sort of glorified squash match. Jade basically being in control for most of it, with Red Velvet only getting stuff during her comeback and at the very beginning when she caught Jade off guard during her entrance. So that was about it for Red Velvet here. I thought that this was a solid length for the match. It made Jade look good. I know Steven was complaining a little bit. Big Daddy Cool complained a little bit about. I know I'll let you talk for how you felt about this match, and I'll go. I'll rebuke you.
Sheriff, you go ahead. I want to hear your thoughts.
Are you talking to me?
Yes.
Okay. So if you want to hear my thoughts, it's not going to be nearly as negative as what you're about to say. I thought the match was fine. I like Jade Cargill. I think that they put her in positions where she can show her strengths and that her weaknesses are kind of hidden. Yep, that's, first of all, that's a bad photo, but yeah, that's her right there, getting her hand raised. I also like Red Velvet. I didn't think it was as bad of a squash as you did. I think that Red Velvet kind of played the underdog, because obviously Jade is way bigger than her. And then she also played kind of the David role against the Goliath, and I felt like the offense was a hotness. Yeah, the offense was exactly what it was supposed to be. And then Jade Cargill should have won. I think that's fair. I don't know. That's really all I got to say. Big Daddy Cool?
I think the right person won. Jade should have won. My problem was with the length of the match. You know, Caden said it was a perfect length. I think that this could have been this was not a squash. It should have been a complete squash. I feel that Red Velvet got way too much offense in. And so I need Jade Cargill to be booked like 90s Goldberg, and she needs to run through this entire women's division, with the exception of maybe about 3 or 4 women, with the quickness, because the entire AEW women's division is a complete joke.
See, the reason why I'll counter that and say that this should not have been a plain squash, or why this was like perfectly fine for what they did, is most people that are AEW fans they know that Jade has not been wrestling for long, right? They understand that concept. Red Velvet has also not been wrestling for super long, but definitely has a little bit more training on her, right? People understand that at least. So when you're considering that, and you're also adding in the fact that it's a grudge match, right? They've been building this feud for 2 months, I think, at this point. So just to have a grudge match end in a squash, I don't think that's the right decision. I think you go at least 2 segments, which is what they did. They went 2 segments for this match. I think that's why it's perfectly fine with the length they have. You don't make a squash match the end of a grudge match.
Jade should have completely killed her, is what it should have happened. The fact that it's a grudge match, it shouldn't be a grudge match. How is it a grudge match? Makes no sense.
They've been building off of this for weeks. Yeah. Where Jade stepped in for Brandy, and they had the match with Shaq.
Jaden, she is 6 feet tall, and Red Velvet is 3'2". Are you kidding me?
Okay, so you're telling me, you're telling me that Rey Mysterio and Brock Lesnar at Survivor Series 2019 made absolutely no sense. That's what you're trying to tell me, right?
Go again?
You're saying that any match Rey Mysterio has ever had with someone above the height of 5'5" makes no sense.
Rey Mysterio is a legend. You're comparing Rey Mysterio to Red Velvet.
Rey Mysterio in the late 90s, early 2000s was not a legend, though. That's the point. Rey Mysterio in the early 2000s and late 1990s was not a legend. Daniel Bryan in the early 2010s was not a legend. Daniel Bryan, who is, I mean, if you're comparing the size between Jade Cargill and Red Velvet, is the same sort of size comparison compared to Batista and Randy Orton. Daniel Bryan was not a legend in 2014 at WrestleMania 30, and he beat them, right?
Talking about size in 2021. Are we still having the size conversation?
It's not even just about the size. It's about the pedigree. Rey Mysterio got over on the Big Show because there was a rocket strapped to him. He had talent. You know who is likened to Rey Mysterio now? Rey Fenix. Rey Fenix can get into the ring with Big Show, can get into the ring with Archer, can get into the ring with other big dudes, and I buy it.
Rey Fenix is bigger.
Red Velvet gets into a match with Jade Cargill. I don't buy 2 segments. I'm sorry.
You don't? I think a lot of people disagree with you. A lot of people were very into this match. A lot of people are looking forward to this match. So you can say that you think that she's too small, but it's been proven that fans buy in when they like you. Because truthfully, a lot of wrestling is not believable. But if you like somebody, if you like their persona, you like what they can do in the ring, and you're a fan, you will buy in regardless. When I was younger, I did not think about size ever. That's something that was put into my mind when I joined the internet and people were talking about small this, small that. That never even entered my brain until I heard it from other people. When you like somebody, you will buy in. You said that Rey has talent. I'm assuming you're implying that Red Velvet does not.
What I'm implying is Red Velvet is right now is not where when Rey Mysterio was put over by the Big Show in WCW.
I'm saying I understand the levels though.
Hold on a second. He had a level of pedigree and experience under his belt at that point in time. If the comparison is Rey Mysterio and Red Velvet, this is apples and oranges. It's not apples and apples.
But we're not comparing the talent. We're comparing the size because that's.
We're not talking. If you're taking out levels of pedigree, you have to add in that Jade Cargill is not on the level of a huge star. She has had 3, I think, Dynamite matches. That's all she's had. Her biggest victory was over Red Velvet at Crossroads Dynamite a month ago.
Look at
Jade
Red Velvet.
Cargill
Look at her.
Has had a month in the ring. That's not a long time. She's literally been wrestling for a month.
She is a machine. This is adults wrestling children. That it shouldn't have taken 2 segments.
It didn't look that egregious to me.
I think the size conversation just makes no sense, and the size conversation makes no sense when comparing this match, considering both women have not built themselves up as major stars. I love Jade Cargill.
The referee would put that picture back up. Let me
put my eyes out. Man, by the way.
Look at this. The referee, this one-armed referee, is taller than her. Are you kidding me?
The referee's
Uncle
a man.
Foster here is taller than than Red Velvet. And I'm supposed to buy that Jade Cargill can't kill her?
Let me ask you this. Do you buy that anybody... Oh, hi. Do you buy that anybody in the division can defeat Jade Cargill just clean? Because in reality, besides Nyla Rose, Jade Cargill is probably the largest woman they have. So if you don't believe that Red Velvet can beat her, you don't believe that anybody in their division can believably get the ring with her.
It's a mix of talent and the build, right? So like if Thunder Rosa practically has the same build as Red Velvet, correct?
I would say Thunder Rosa is a little bit beefier, but yeah.
I buy Thunder Rosa and Jade Cargill going 2 segments. I buy Thunder Rosa beating Jade Cargill in a really long match. I buy that. I buy Sheeta, even though nobody cares about Sheeta. Nobody gives a shit about Sheeta.
People know Sheeta's legit. But
that's the point. Is it's not about just the size, guys. It's about the size and the pedigree. Like, I like Red Velvet. Don't get me wrong. I don't think she's like a jobber. But the point that I'm trying to drive home is Jade is such a force that she needs to be put like above everybody else. Like, to make a star in the AEW women's division, and they've got one right now, one in Britt Baker.
Yeah.
If they wanted to make another star, they need to squash the rest of these clowns and put Jade Cargill through that door.
Now here's
They need to put a rocket on her and go.
That's true.